Hey everybody, welcome back. It's another episode of Jake Talks Star Wars, and today we're launching into a book review. I finished reading Lords of the Sith a while back. Well, rereading Lords of the Sith a while back. I'm kind of making my way through my catalog of Star Wars canon novels that I have already read over the last 10 years. And kind of rereading them and reviewing them for the channel. But this book is pretty great. It's a lot of fun. It, in a nutshell, I think, and this will have spoilers, by the way. This is a, how old? This is a 10-year-old book, right? It was published in 2015, so it is 10 years old. But it's a lot of fun. And for all intents and purposes, this is Lord Vader and Palpatine go on a road trip and violence ensues, right? That's kind of the gist of it, and it's what you'd expect, right? It involves Ryloth, it involves Cham Syndulla and Ryloth, and them resisting the Empire and trying to go for broke and take out the Emperor and Vader in one fell swoop, but they don't really understand, or they don't really understand fully what they're getting into. So we get to see Vader and Palpatine kind of working together. It's kind of a like I say, kind of a road trip situation, but we get to see them working together alongside some Imperial guards, which are like, if you'll forgive the pun, like the ultimate red shirts in this situation, right? Not just red shirts, but like all red uniform. And there's some interesting stuff that kind of builds the relationship between Palpatine and Vader. We see Vader really flexing his muscles at various points, not only as a fighter, but also as a pilot. And we see people in general just not really knowing what to make of him. They don't understand what Vader is, or what he's about, or what his role is. And that's interesting too. And this takes place really early on. It takes place so early on that Vader is still flying like a Clone Wars era starfighter. The Imperial pilots are still flying V-wings. So this is still early on, like before the transition to like TIE fighters and other stuff that's much more what we think of as Imperial. But it's a fun read. It's a good read. Nothing really, we know about Cham Syndulla, we know about Palpatine, we know about Vader. So like, there's not really high stakes. We're just kind of along for this ride to get this snapshot of what life was like, or what this event was like. But we're not really learning anything new. And we're, you already know how the stories of all these people end. Well, we don't know how Cham Syndulla's story ends, but we know that his story goes on at least until the time of Rebels. So he makes it through this story for sure, because he's got to show up in Rebels later on. So we're not really... The stakes are kind of low for all of the main characters. Now, there's a bunch of other characters we learn about. There's a bunch of other characters that are introduced that are all fair game, obviously, but kind of low stakes for the main characters. But it's still a fun read. I still really enjoy it. And yeah, I highly recommend it. If you haven't read Lords of the Sith yet, if you like Vader and Palpatine and you want to see them work together, and you want to see them kind of dance around their relationship, and the fact that Palpatine wants to control Vader but also wants Vader to someday attempt to take over, right? All these kind of things. If you're interested in that weird Sith kind of stuff, if you're interested in that relationship, check it out. If you've always liked Cham Syndulla from the Clone Wars and Rebels, and you want to see more of what he's up to and what he's trying to do to save Ryloth and ultimately attempt to help the whole galaxy, it's worth checking out. Or if you just need something to read and check out for a little bit, it's worth a read all the way around. So Lords of the Sith, tons of fun. I think it's great. I think it's a good read. Not high stakes. We're not learning anything new. We're not learning anything earth-shatteringly new, but it's definitely a good read and worth checking out. So check it out if you haven't already. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys have a great week. I will be doing a review for Bloodlines later on, And so keep an eye out for that, because that's going to be coming up soon. And then I'm still working my way through Master of Evil, which is one of the newest Star Wars novels that got released, and coincidentally also about Darth Vader. So be sure to keep a lookout for that here in the next week or so. But yeah, thanks for coming by. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys have a great week. And remember, take care of each other out there. Bye-bye.